Welcome back to Nothing at Midnight, or if you're cool, Nom. I am your host, Ricky, followed by my co-host, Zayn,
Hello.
and my other co-host and man behind the scenes, Pete.
Grand Emperor Pete.
That was my line, asshole.
Get it right.
No, it's Pete. And then it's like, wait a second, he's on his throne. It's Grand Emperor Pete today. Because not every time do you have your throne.
Actually, I have now.
Lately, he's been keeping his throne, so we might have to change the name to Grand Emperor Pete.
That's fine by me.
Or Grand Emperor Douchebag for taking my line.
Oh, shut it. All right.
I was just kidding, folks.
That's a way to start. Oh, yeah.
I was just kidding, folks. I'm not really pissed about this.
All right.
Just quick banter.
Let's get into this. Ricky, what is on the agenda today?
Today, we will be going over how many L's I took today because I can't pick jack shit in the NFL draft, and our music picks, and also, what was the other thing we had?
We can do Pete's pick today.
Oh, Pete's pick, draft picks from the NFL, and our music picks.
Yes.
That's all we have today for the agenda. It'll be a quick episode.
It'll be pretty quick. Let's also throw in a 5-minute segment of Zayn's app.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yep.
I think it'll work out pretty well.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
So, Pete, let's get these scores up.
All right. For the NFL draft, there was 5 of us making our picks. Granted, 2 of us are not here today.
Yep.
The draft, in all honesty, did not go in our favor. For anybody's. Unless you were Zeke.
Yeah, Zeke rigged this shit and knew exactly what everybody was going to pick because he's from the future.
That's what we're thinking because there's no way he did as well as he did.
Somebody dropped him off a sports almanac from the future.
Probably. But anyway, let's start with Zayn's picks.
Napkins?
Technical. Oh, you got some.
Yes.
Resourceful.
Yep.
All right.
Kept him from lunch. Technical difficulties. But, what was Zayn's score? Do you know?
Well, first I'm going to go over his picks, and then we'll go over his
score?
His score. So
This
Zayn,
is going to be hilarious. I will explain after we finish.
Zayn, you made 11 total picks. Only 1 pick does not count to your total because it was a bonus pick. Let's start with your number 1 overall. You had Jackson Dart going to the Tennessee Titans. Number 2, you had Quinn Ewers going to the Cleveland Browns. Number 3, you had Matthew Golden to the New York Giants. Number 4, you had Tetairoa McMillan to the New England Patriots. At number 5, you had Mason Graham to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 6 was Ashton Genty to the Las Vegas Raiders. Number 7 was Abdul Carter to the New York Jets. Number 8 was Travis Hunter to the Carolina Panthers. Number 9 was Cam Ward to the New Orleans Saints. And you had number 10, Tyler Warren to the Chicago Bears. And your bonus pick was Jaheed Campbell to the Detroit Lions at pick number 28. Amongst your picks, now before I actually announce how many he got right, at first we were going to count getting the teams as well to make it right, but considering that most trades for picks are not made until the night of, right when they get their pick, we're not going to count whether you got the team right. We're just going to count if you got the person right at that position, at that number position.
I see.
Bullshit. It's to rig it so Zeke could win.
No, because actually that's the only reason most people got their wins.
Assholes.
Because without it,
I'm just playing.
Nobody but Zeke would have actually had a win.
I was just playing people.
So, number 1 overall, Jackson Dart to the Tennessee Titans. You were wrong. Number 2 overall, Quinn Ewers to the Browns. You were wrong. Number 3, Matthew Golden to the Giants. Wrong. McMillan to the Patriots. Wrong. Mason Graham going 5th overall was correct, but not to the Jaguars. He went 5th overall to the Browns. The Browns traded down. Ashton Genty, you got correct, and everything else you got wrong. Zayn, you went 2-8 overall.
So what does it mean when you got like something wrong?
Basically, that's not the pick they went at, nor is it the team they went to in the end. Yeah, I would have given you some credit if you had gotten any other teams here at least somewhat right. But
okay, so real quick, recap. How does the draft work?
So basically, you get all these people
these
from
are
college,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in a giant pool.
Okay.
Now, there's only, what, 5 rounds?
7 rounds.
7 rounds.
231 picks, I think it is.
Yeah. So out of those thousands of kids, you get 231 of them with the option to sign the rest after the draft.
Undrafted as just agents.
Yep.
The draft is basically you were that good at your sport, your position in your sport, you got chosen to be basically showcased on national television. Like Quinn Ewers, he went, I believe it was.
But yeah, so basically a bunch of rich old white guys get to bid on a bunch of athletes and buy them on an auction. No, I'm just
Okay.
playing.
So how do the draft numbers work?
So here it is.
So-
So there's more than 231 picks, but
How many picks are
basically
there?
it's you get your pick in the order based off of how well you did it in the previous season.
Okay.
So the Super Bowl champions tend to have the very last pick of the first round, while the first pick at the first round goes to the team who did the absolute worst.
It's to try and help them get better.
So if you're the first pick, you're the worst?
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you're the last pick, you're the best. But then after that first round,
it's up for grabs.
it's up for grabs
because
anywhere.
a lot of those teams trade their from the second round back. They use those picks to trade.
Oh, okay. I see.
So that's always a big mess. But the first round is always pretty solid.
The first round is always the worst team to the best team.
Yep.
The further back you are in the draft order, the better your team did that season.
All right.
But
Well,
So, but like for example, Quinn Ewers, he was the last quarterback drafted in the draft, and he went number 231 to the Miami Dolphins in the 7th round.
so you can even if a team drafts you, you do not have to sign the contract. You don't have to sign your rights.
You don't
Which-
have to sign it, which did happen.
this year. But so you don't sign the contract. You don't sign your rights over it. You just get thrown back into the college pool again to go play another season and come back next year.
Mm-hmm.
It's only if you sign that you can't go back to college. At least go back to college and play.
Yeah. So you went 2-8
You're
overall.
now a division higher.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The only one that doesn't affect you is Jaheed Campbell. It was a bonus pick. You got it wrong.
All
It
right.
doesn't affect you in any negative way.
What if that was like? your
Although of
plan?
all teams to have picked, you picked the Detroit Lions. Why?
I don't know. So the ones I got right, I guarantee you I stole them from Zeke because I was scrolling through and I was like, you know what? This dude looks kind of cool. So I picked him. And then I went through all of them and only like 7 dudes looked cool. So then I stole like 2 or 3 from Zeke.
Okay. Well, you got Ashton Genty to the Las Vegas Raiders, correct? That was the only player and team you got right.
Okay. Well, y'all helped me with the teams. So
Yeah. Mason Graham, you were right at going 5th overall. He just didn't go to the Jaguars. He went to the Browns. But we're not going to hold that against you. Ricky, it's your turn. He's nervous.
Yeah, no, fuck this. I
All right.
I didn't get anything right because my number one pick fell all the way to the 7th round.
Shador Sanders did not go in the first round at all. He went all the way in the 7th.
damn.
He went pretty late. No, he didn't go in the 7th.
I thought he did. He
No, went
got
in the
picked like right
s-
before.
No, he went in the 6th.
Look, Pete, look it up.
Hold up.
Because I'm pretty sure he got picked.
He got picked before Quinn. 5th round by the Cleveland Browns. Anyway. So, Ricky, you had number 1 overall Shador Sanders to the Tennessee Titans. Number 2 overall Abdul Carter to the Cleveland Browns. Number 3 overall Cam Ward to the Giants. Number 4 overall Jackson Dart to the Patriots. Number 5 Will Campbell to the Jacksonville Jaguars. 6 was Matthew Golden to the Las Vegas Raiders. 7 was Quinn Ewers to the New York Jets. 8 was Jalen Walker to the Carolina Panthers. 9 was Mikael Williams to the New Orleans Saints. And number 10 overall was Will Johnson to the Chicago Bears. Amongst those picks, I'll just rip the Band-Aid off for
Band-Aid
you.
off.
You went 0-10. None of your picks were correct.
Yep.
Make that pretty nice and simple. Rip it off.
I found the new segment, Ricky's Roster Rejects. Because I can't seem to pick jack shit.
All right.
Oh, man.
I do want to touch, because now we're going on to me. We'll get to that in a minute.
You're going to touch what?
Something that was said at the draft that I was absolutely a big fan of. Nonetheless, my picks were number 1 overall quarterback Cam Ward to the Tennessee Titans. Number 2, Mikael Williams to the Cleveland Browns. Third overall was Quinn Ewers to the New York Giants. Fourth was Shador Sanders to the New England Patriots. 5 was Armand Membu to the Jaguars. 6 was Teteroa McMillan to the Vegas Raiders. 7th was Ashton Jeanty to the Jets. Mason Graham, 8 overall, to the Panthers. Matthew Golden to the New Orleans Saints. And Mike Green to the Chicago Bears. And my bonus pick for my Green Bay Packers was Jaheed Barron.
You ever been to a Packers game? No, neither have I. Throwback.
Amongst my picks, I went 1-9, with my only correct pick being Cam Ward, number 1 overall, to the Tennessee Titans. Now, I do want to touch on one thing. He had a message for the draft from the President of the United States. Nothing else was actually said. So let's touch on that.
With the President Donald Trump, he asked me to pass a message along to all 32 NFL franchises. So let me tell you what it reads here, all right? It says, my fellow Americans, the Bears still suck!
That was Green Bay Packer legend Clay Matthews. Absolute cinema. Perfect. Loved
Man
it.
had great hair.
I'm not a Bears fan. I hate the Bears because I'm a Packers fan.
What is the worst team, like, by Super Bowl wins?
Browns.
The Jets, I thought.
Jets have a Super Bowl win. They haven't had a Super Bowl win in a long time, but the Browns have no Super Bowl win or appearances. One of the few
Thought
remaining
they did.
teams.
Wait, what?
Browns have never been to a Super Bowl.
I thought they had. They're like the oldest team in the league,
No.
aren't they? It's them, the Packers, and
No. The oldest team in the league. The oldest teams
Bears?
are the Arizona Cardinals, Chicago Bears, and the Green Bay Packers.
I
They're
thought
the
they were
3
there.
oldest
The
teams.
Browns too.
No. Because the original Browns team is now the Baltimore Ravens, and then the Browns came back as a new team for Cleveland.
So all the stuff that the old Browns did is with the Ravens.
Just about, but even at that, the history is sticking with the new Browns, which the new Browns are the only team to have like the longest
No,
drought.
that's not right because the Texans moved from Houston to Tennessee as the Oilers and became the Tennessee Titans, and they brought back the
Houston.
They were the Houston Oilers, and then they moved from
So
Houston to Tennessee and changed their name to the Titans. So Houston didn't have a team for a while until what, 2000?
2002.
2002? They brought back the NFL team. They
And
put
even-
a new NFL team in there and changed the name to the Texans.
Will every state eventually have an NFL team?
No.
No.
It's based off your market value. So
And even
like-
at that though,
like Texas has 2 teams. Florida has what, 3?
yeah.
California has. We used to have 3. It's just the Rams and the Chargers now.
Yeah.
Vegas finally got their team. So like,
Out of California, but nonetheless,
what states don't have it? Nebraska doesn't have one.
Nebraska, Kansas,
Kansas doesn't have one.
Oklahoma. So while there is no definitive title, the Browns are technically classified as the worst, considering that even though the Texans are a much younger franchise and could be called the worst, they still have better success than the Browns.
Because when it was the Jets.
They even announced it at the draft. The Browns, I think, haven't won a division title since 1989. The Texans have won theirs,
They just won one, didn't they?
and they have lasted longer in the playoffs than the Browns.
The Texans only sucked for like 2 years or 3 years, something like that.
Pretty
when
much.
J.J. Watt was done.
Nonetheless, I went 1-9.
J.J. Watt was done. They sucked, and they got Deshaun Watson, and then they went together for a while, and then they lost Deshaun Watson because of other stuff. J.J. Watt went down with the injuries again, and DeAndre Hopkins went down for PEDs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sucked again.
Okay, but yeah, no. My Green Bay Packers, I didn't get that pick. We did for the first time since 2002 draft a wide receiver in the first round, Matthew Golden. And a pick number 23. Anyway, let's move on because we got quite a bit to touch up in a little bit of time.
Zeke's next.
No, Gabby's next.
Gabby's next?
Gabby also
What?
went 1-9 with the only correct pick being number 4, Will Campbell. So, I'm not going to touch too much on that. I'll touch on that later.
They're not here, so they don't get an in-depth review.
Yeah. Now, our winner of our picks for the night is Zeke going 7-3. Cam Ward, number 1. Travis Hunter, number 2. Abdul Carter, number 3, who was the only person so far to not sign with the team that drafted him. He refused, and he's going back for next year, but he was still drafted 3rd overall. Will Campbell 4, Mason Graham 5, Ashton Genty 6, and Armand Bamboo number 7. And then he lost with Jalen Walker 8, Shador Sanders 9, and Tyler Warren 10. And then his bonus pick, Tedero McMillan, did not happen as he went 8th overall. So that kind of touches that real quick.
So if they're 8th overall, they're at the bottom, right?
No, they're at the beginning.
Okay.
No, it's not 10 exclusive picks for the first round.
There's 32
There's
picks.
32 picks.
Okay.
The top 10 are just the ones to look at.
Okay, I see.
That's the ones we're looking at. All right, now we're touching up on our music.
Let's hit the music segment from like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's been quite a bit behind.
Yeah.
Let's start with Zayn.
Let's recap this. So we all gave each other different albums to look at from different artists to kind of expand our music horizon. And we've been meaning to try and say our top 10 picks for these. But we've had a couple of loaded episodes recently, so we pushed it back to today.
Yes, so we were all supposed to do mixed songs today, I just remembered, but we're going to push that back again.
Until next Monday.
We weren't prepared for that one. We kind of scrapped in this episode last minute. Our apologies. But Zayn, we're going to start with you. You had Zach Wilde given to you by Random for Repeat. And your 2 albums were The Book of Shadows and The Book of Shadows 2.
Yeah.
Amongst both albums, which song was your absolute favorite?
Which song is my absolute favorite? Let me go to Spotify because I have the list, but they're in no particular order. Hang on. Let's see.
All right, while you're looking for that, let's quickly... Ricky, given to you by Zayn, you had Sleepy Hollow.
Yep.
Which 2 albums did you have?
Oh, dang it. I don't remember the name of the albums, but I had the list.
Let me see. I'll look it up for
I
you.
might have to
real
go
quick.
back and listen to these.
Doesn't sound like you're looking for it, Pete.
That was me looking for it. I don't know why it was still playing. I closed the app. Whatever.
Too Numb to Cry is good. Way Beyond Empty is good. Between Heaven and Hell is good. And Sold My Soul.
Those are some good ones, honestly. I liked those.
I
So
know
amongst all of those, what are your top 10?
Oh, the top 10 out of both albums?
Yeah.
The top 10 would be...
And they could
Throwing-
be combined, so.
Okay. Yeah, they're combined and in no particular order. So we have Throwing It All Away, Autumn Changes, Sold My Soul, Eyes of Burden, Between Heaven and Hell, Tears of December, Way Beyond Empty, Sleeping Dogs, Forgotten Memory, and Too Numb to Cry.
Those are all really good. The only one I didn't really like too much when I heard these albums was Autumn Changes. It's still
Autumn
really
Changes.
good, but it was just not one that I really liked too much. Ricky, you had Sleepy Hollow. You had albums Read This When You Wake Up and Still Sleep? ?
Yep.
Amongst both albums, which one was your absolute favorite?
It's called Basketball Dream.
Okay.
That one's good.
Yeah,
Basketball Dreams
Basketball
is pretty...
Dreams
I
is
like
my
Basketball
favorite.
Dreams.
All right.
Yeah.
Remember I had basketball dreams. I hit the block and shot a different type of 3. Said they love me, I don't know what that mean.
And now what are your top 10?
No particular order. It's Scrub, Equal, Basketball Dream, Two Sauce, 2055.
2055 is amazing. I love that one.
Yeah, 2055 was good too. Make You, Snake Proof, Mino Sabe, 1999, The Sleepy Freestyle, and Murder She Wrote.
Yeah.
They basically all came off that first album, so I was like,
Yeah,
I was listening to the other one. It's really good. It wasn't topping the other songs, so I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Didn't you mention one song that came on? I forgot about it. You said Chicken.
Yeah.
And I was listening to the album and it came on and I was like...
It was the only song that was like, why?
That doesn't...
It doesn't fit the album.
But, dude, 1999, Murder, She Wrote. Dude.
All right.
Make you...
Given to me by Ricky, I had Airborne, albums of No Guts, No Glory, and Black Dog Barking. Amongst both albums, I think my favorite was Animalize from Black Dog Barking. Kind of reminded me of Nickelback. I liked it quite a bit. Gave me Nickelback vibes. Amongst that, though, both albums, my top 10, no really particular order, except for this one, number one overall, Animalize, Firepower, Women Like That, Black Dog Barking, 4?
4.
Ready to Rock.
I got you.
Oh, thank you. Live It Up,
6.
Woman Like That, Cradle to the Grave, Hungry, and Back in the Game.
Yep.
Really, all of them out of Black Dog Barking. I didn't care too much for No Guts, No Glory.
Yeah, Black Dog Barking's I think is their best one.
Other than that, that's just about it on albums. Do we want to
Yeah.
give each other new albums? Maybe next week?
We can do that next week.
I'd have to look again.
Yeah, I need to look for a different one. Like,
Yeah,
better one.
that'll work. That one, I think we're going to have to give ourselves just about a week, 2-week time frame.
We
Try
did.
and-
We just happened to get busy with the WWE stuff.
Well, because that one will have a... Well,
We had
actually,
to-
because next week we will be discussing picks for UFC 315
The mixed long.
and the mixed long, and maybe picks for WWE Backlash if they release.
if they release them
enough.
on time.
So, let's quickly do a segment of Zayn Zap. Go for it, sir.
Oh, okay. You know, there are 360 degrees in a circle, like when you're looking at a compass. But sometimes you need to be a little more particular. So they have a thing called mils. And there are 6. I didn't really plan this. Now I'm just waffling. Let me think of something good.
That was kind of the point of Zayn Zap, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about Ghost. And well, some people don't believe in Ghost. Let's talk about the possibility. So when we look at things, right, we see light and colors. There's a visible spectrum, but there are things we can't see, like radio waves, magnetic waves, different kinds of waves. Ultraviolet waves, we can't see those, but we can see color. So that entire spectrum, if you span it from New York to California, there is only about a dime's worth that we can see. So there is several thousand miles of stuff that we can't see. So there could be a possibility that ghosts are somewhere on the spectrum, right? We just don't have the visibility to see it.
So what was it? Was it 22?
Think about it.
Well, do you remember the weight from a body, like living into dead? Do you remember that?
No.
We talked about that.
I don't think
It was like 22 pounds. Like the soul weighs like 22 pounds or something like that.
Interesting.
Look it up. Look it up because I know it was there. I think it was you and me talking about it one of those nights we were hanging out. Just look up how much does a soul weigh.
The soul does not have a measurable weight. The claim that the soul weighs 21 grams is a myth popularized by the 21 grams experiment conducted by Dr. Duncan McDougall in 1907.
Yeah. That's the one. 21 grams. So apparently that's how much your soul weighs from this doctor.
Not entirely proven
which
true,
is a
though.
myth. Now that we have actual science.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So our ghosts just trap spirits or remnants of the soul?
What if ghosts are neither? What if ghost is just another form of energy on the spectrum? And it causes things to go off because, like, if you have a meter that's reading the energy, it goes off because it reads the energy. What if, like, ghosts aren't people at all? What if it's just another energy source that we...
You want another theory to that?
Go for it.
So they're saying that when why are babies crying when they come out, right? So I've heard a theory that babies are crying when they come out the womb because they remember their past life and realize they have to restart. And that's what it is. That these ghosts are not really ghosts; they're just traveling to the next person to be
Interesting.
reincarnated.
Very
That's
interesting.
Yeah.
Which also plays into the love factor with soulmates.
You know, fair enough.
People being intertwined by destiny.
Now that I think about that, like, some questions are kind of weird.
Not
Like,
the stripper either.
like some questions we have the answer to, right? Like if you're studying or doing work and you have a question, you can figure it out. But what about like stranger questions? Like let's look at other civilizations in the universe. Like we can't answer that, but like that's an unanswered question. And now I'm feeling kind of weird about all these unanswered questions.
I think we have that question answered. The government just doesn't want to give it out. I thought they did give it out, didn't they? They like unleashed the whole thing about aliens and nobody cared.
Oh.
Huh?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that when that came out, but I
It was
heard about that.
during the I thought it happened when all the race stuff was going on recently. They kind of dropped it in the middle.
Yeah, they did.
If I'm not mistaken, I can't. Maybe it was a hoax that people have been confirming aliens, like old pilots and agents and stuff.
Who knows, in all honesty.
But yeah,
All right. Last thing for today, we're going to do Peach Pick of the week. The song of the week will be Bad Blood by A Day to Remember.
oh yeah, nice.
It's a good song. I heard it over WrestleMania weekend. It's been one that kind of like been stuck in my head for a minute. So it's a good song. It's catchy. It's not bad. I don't really know what else to say about it. We were kind of on a time frame today, so
Yeah.
that's why this episode's a bit shorter. It's still longer than our pilot, so I think we could just upload it as an actual episode. It's just shorter than our others.
Yeah. That's fine.
But that's kind of how it happens. So
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for listening. If you've ever seen a ghost or you think ghosts are real, let us know in the comments. You'll have a great day. I am Zayn.
I am Ricky.
and I'm Grand Emperor Pete.
Signing off. This is Nam.